For March Madness 2022, I am partnering with BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Using the link in the description, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus using the promo code JOIN125. A $100 minimum deposit is necessary. Get in on the action on this NCAA tournament and March Madness season and any other sport in general, and make some money. Get in on the action with BetUS. Before we get started with this video, I want to let you guys know about my Discord server. We're talking college basketball live games, just college basketball in general, bracketology, Q&As, all that stuff. Hit the link in the description to join the Super Celtic 24 Discord server. Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to the March 10th edition of the Bracketology update. This one is coming out only 3 days before Selection Sunday. I am so freaking excited. The real meat of the conference tournament season kicks off today. A lot of big names are finally playing games. It is the second round of the SEC tournament, the third round of the ACC tournament, the second round of the Big Ten tournament, all that fun stuff. Even the Big 12, I think, is starting to kick off today with their first round matchups. But man, we got to talk about what happened yesterday. 2 big games happened that have big impacts here on the NCAA tournament. And I'll go ahead and scroll down before I get into like the tournament giveaway thing, just so you guys can see this bubble watch right there. Wake Forest, a team that was listed as like the last 4 bye team last time, or maybe the last team in, they just lost on a neutral floor to Boston College, who was like 12-19 or something like that. That is a loss. Wake Forest may not survive. I mean, Wake Forest, they may squeak into the tournament. I mean, right now they're in, but for a team that's only 1-4 in quad 1 games, and that one win is against Virginia Tech, who's not even in the tournament, as you can see there, that I would be clenching my butthole if I was a Wake Forest fan on Selection Sunday. They better hope no bid thieves occur, like the teams on the bubble don't go on runs in the tournament. Then we got to talk about Xavier. Xavier, this is, I feel vindicated, because I have been out on Xavier all season long. Yesterday, Xavier, they shot themselves in the foot. I mean, they went 13 of 29 from the free throw line. They were up by like 5 in the last 40 seconds of the game, but went 0 for 5 from the free throw line, and then lost in overtime to Butler, who's 13 and 18. That is a loss that Xavier, I don't think that they'll be able to make the tournament from. I mean, they're 2 teams to the good right now on the bubble. And with bid thieves, and then you got teams like Indiana, Dayton, Virginia Tech, VCU, Florida, Texas A&M. All those teams can go on runs in their NCAA or in their conference tournaments as well and kind of build up their resume. I don't think Xavier's going to make the tournament once it's all said and done, but man, what a fall from grace from them. I mean, back in February, they were projected to be like a 5 seed. But then they've lost 6 out of their last 7, and I think 8 out of their last 10 games, something like that. A horrendous end to the season. But then the other team we got to mention is Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech looked to be on the ropes against Clemson last night in the ACC tournament, but they ended up squeaking out a victory with a buzzer-beating 3, but it's a win by 1. It was an absolutely crazy game, too. I thought they were up by like 10 with like 5 minutes to go against Clemson, and Clemson fought back, but Virginia Tech withheld their position there. Before we take a look at the actual NCAA tournament bracket, though, I want to let you guys know about the NCAA tournament ticket giveaway. If we hit 7,777 subscribers by midnight on Selection Sunday, that means going into Monday, I will be giving away a first-round NCAA tournament ticket. All you got to do to enter is subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, take a screenshot, send it to @AlexPrice24 on Instagram, and then I'll just send you a confirmation message. That's all you got to do to enter. More details are in the description below, so make sure you check those out. But taking a look back at the bracket, nothing's changed here since the last time we looked. Indiana's still the first team out. SMU's still the last team in, so we won't really get into it there. But the bubble, we do have to talk about Michigan. They do play against Indiana. This video may be coming out around like 1 o'clock noon Eastern time, something like that. So by the time this video ends up coming out, I'm recording it, as you can see, at 9:17 a.m. Michigan plays at 11:30 against Indiana. So maybe that game might already be nearing its conclusion when this comes out. So maybe they end up losing, and I just look like an idiot for liking them in this bracketology. but you never know, things can happen. Then we have Rutgers, Notre Dame, and Creighton. Last four in are Wyoming, Wake Forest, Xavier, SMU. First four out are Indiana, who have that aforementioned game against Michigan. Indiana has to win that if they want to make the tournament. Dayton, BYU, who's already done for the season. BYU's not going to make the tournament. And then we have Virginia, and then the next four out are Virginia Tech, VCU, Florida, and Texas A&M. So taking a look here at the bubble, Memphis now moving up to a 9 after that win over Houston. Memphis looks pretty safe for the tournament, which they were looking pretty iffy there for the majority of the middle of the season. Alabama falls to a 6. Rutgers is up to an 11. Loyola Chicago is up to a 10. They've already won their conference tournament, which I got 100% correct. I made my tournament prediction videos for the Missouri Valley Conference and got 100% of them correct with the 4/3 seed in the championship game. Feeling pretty proud of that. LSU is up to a 5. Then we have Creighton down to an 11. Colgate won their conference tournament last night, so they are clinched for the field. They have Michigan up to a 10. And taking a look at the Midwest Regional, I will be going to the Indianapolis sites. Haven't decided if I'm going to record videos yet, but I'll be seeing that pod right there along with this pod over there for Kentucky and Purdue kind of leading those charges. We have San Diego State down to a 10. Wake Forest falls down to the 12 in the last four in, and then Notre Dame falling to an 11. I think Notre Dame plays Virginia Tech tonight, so Virginia Tech could get a victory there, play their way in. Notre Dame could fall out of the field. It's just crazy because Notre Dame's a 2 seed in the ACC. Virginia Tech is a 7 seed, but if you scroll back up there, there's about 10 teams or so separating those two teams. So as you guys know, every time there's a new bracketology, I create this bracket on vertex42.com, and I go fill out my predictions for the NCAA tournament here. Before I get into them, we got to come up with a two-word food item for today. Let's go with egg rolls. Had some egg rolls last night for dinner. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's go with some egg rolls. If you're watching at this point in the video, comment egg rolls down in the comment section below so I know you're watching the whole video and not just skipping to the end of the video to see who I pick as my national champion, even like Final Four teams. Really appreciate seeing you guys showing that support in the comment section below, and I just find it funny. So up first, obviously Gonzaga is going to beat the winner of Nicholls and Alcorn State. TCU, I think they will beat Memphis there. TCU has been giving Kansas a run for their money in these last couple of games. It'll be interesting to see how TCU does in the Big 12 tournament. Then UConn versus North Texas. North Texas is one of my sleeper teams this year, but UConn I just think is a better team than North Texas. I got Connecticut winning that, but if North Texas can get paired up with like Houston or maybe even LSU over there, I think they could get a first-round upset victory. Same thing with Vermont. Vermont, I think, could surprise unsuspecting 4 seed, but with it being Arkansas, I just don't see that happening. I got Arkansas moving forward. Alabama and Rutgers, I do see an upset happening here. I got Rutgers advancing on past Alabama. Alabama's just been too inconsistent. Texas Tech will beat Seattle. Then I'm going to go with another upset pick here and go with Loyola Chicago, moving on past Colorado State, and then Wisconsin beating St. Peter's. So for a spot in the Sweet 16, Gonzaga will advance on here past TCU. Arkansas will beat Connecticut. Then we are going to go, you know what? It's been a while. Somebody commented on my video a couple days ago that I thought something was really interesting. Out of the last, I think, 11 years and 44 regions, there's only been 4 regions to where the top 4 seeds made the Sweet 16, and that kind of stuck out to me because there's been a couple of regions to where in my bracketologies I've been kind of going a little chalky. I've had some upsets in the first round, but once we get to the Sweet 16, it's been a little bit chalky. I'm going to go with an upset pick here. Rutgers, I think, has shown that they can beat anybody in the nation. I mean, I did just pick Texas Tech to go to the Final Four in my bracketology yesterday, so it changes from day to day. But I got Rutgers pulling off the 11/3 upset. I think Rutgers is a really equipped 11 seed to do so. Then we're going to have Wisconsin moving on past Loyola Chicago. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, we got Arkansas pulling off the 4/1 upset. I've been doing that over my last bracketology, so you can go check those out for a little bit more explanations. I know this video is starting to get a bit long. Then we have Wisconsin moving on past Rutgers in a battle of Big Ten teams. So we have 4 seed Arkansas, 2 seed Wisconsin for a spot in the Final Four. I got the Razorbacks of Arkansas advancing on. So moving on down here to the bottom left regional, Kansas is moving on past Long Beach State. Then we're going to go with Murray State moving on past Seton Hall, who struggled last night against Georgetown. Houston will beat Wake Forest and Xavier. Then we're going to go with Illinois moving on past Toledo. Ohio State will beat Notre Dame. Then we're going to go with Villanova here moving on past Longwood. Miami, Florida, I think can pull off the 10/7 over USC. And then Kentucky will beat Georgia State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Kansas moving on past Murray State. Then we are going to go with Illinois moving on past Houston as well. Then I think I'm going to surprise some people here. I think rightfully so. I think most people are probably going to pick Villanova to advance on past Ohio State. But I think Ohio State could surprise some teams. I know a lot of Ohio State fans are going to be like, we're not that good this year. But I'm going to go with an upset pick there. I am going to go with 6th seed Ohio State, moving on past Villanova, and then Kentucky will advance on here past Miami. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, Kansas will beat Illinois, along with Kentucky beating Ohio State. And for a spot in the Final Four, these two teams played at Kansas when Kentucky destroyed them by 18. I have it happening again here. Maybe not a destruction by 18 points, but I do have Kentucky advancing on to the Final Four out of that regional. So now, moving on down to the bottom right, we are going to go with Arizona beating Wright State and Bryant. Then we're going to go with North Carolina moving on past Iowa State. Texas will beat the winner of Wyoming and SMU. Providence will beat Chattanooga. Then we're going to go with Davidson pulling off the 11-6 upset over St. Mary's. Purdue will advance on past Montana State. Marquette will beat San Diego State along with Auburn over Delaware. And then for a spot in the Sweet 16, Arizona will move on past North Carolina. Texas as a 5 seed will advance on past 4 seed Providence. Purdue will beat Davidson, and then Auburn will beat Marquette. Though I'd love to see Marquette pulling off the upset there. I just don't see it happening against Auburn. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, Arizona will advance on here past Texas to the Elite Eight, where they will face Purdue. I got Purdue pulling off the 3-2 upset over Auburn, which sets up Arizona and Purdue. I think that game would be absolutely fantastic. I think these top 3 seeds here, Arizona, Purdue, and Auburn, any of those 3 can advance on to the Final Four out of that region. But I am going to go with a surprise. I keep saying the same thing there. I am going to go with Arizona advancing on to the Final Four out of that region. Honestly, it's a 33-33-33 between Arizona, Purdue, and Auburn to make the Final Four out of that region. And I haven't gone with Arizona too much in these bracketologies. I don't think I've been giving them the respect that they deserve as a 1 seed. I got Arizona advancing on to the Final Four there. So, last region up here, Baylor will advance on past Norfolk State. Michigan State, I do think, can beat San Francisco there. South Dakota State pulling off the 12-5. I just don't believe in LSU. I think they're I think they're frauds. Kind of like Will Wade, not going to lie there, but we'll see what happens there. I got South Dakota State advancing on. UCLA will beat Princeton. Then we're going to go with Iowa moving on past Creighton if I can pick Iowa there. There we go. Tennessee will beat Colgate. Then we're going to go with Michigan pulling off the 10-7 upset over Boise State, and then Duke over Jacksonville State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Baylor advancing on here past Michigan State in a battle of the green teams. UCLA will beat South Dakota State. Then I'm going to go with Tennessee beating Iowa. But then I'm going to go with a huge upset here, I believe. I am going to go with 10 seed Michigan advancing on past Duke. Duke's been pretty inconsistent. I think Michigan's starting to play like the expected 1 seed they were. Maybe not to the level of a 1 seed, but enough to where I think that they could upset Duke there. We'll see what happens when they play Indiana later today. I could eat my words here. But I have 10 seed Michigan pulling off the huge upset over 2 seed Duke and Coach K's last year. For a spot in the Elite Eight, we are going to go with Baylor moving on here past UCLA, and then Michigan falling to Tennessee. I got Tennessee advancing on to the Elite Eight out of there with Baylor. So Baylor versus Tennessee for a spot in the Final Four. I do have to go with Baylor here advancing on to the national championship game, which sets up Arkansas versus Kentucky, and then Baylor versus Arizona, a 4 versus 2, and then 2 number 1 seeds. Up first, Arkansas versus Kentucky. I am going to go with the Kentucky Wildcats. I think Kentucky is one of the top projected teams for a national championship this year. No disrespect to Arkansas at all. They are a Final Four team. Heck, if they can keep how they've been playing through the SEC tournament and then through the NCAA tournament, I think they could win it all. And then Baylor versus Arizona, I am going to go with Baylor moving on there. I do think they'll beat Arizona, which sets up Kentucky and Baylor in my national championship. Do I switch it up and go with Kentucky? I've had these two teams face off in my most recent bracketologies, whether it be in the national championship, kind of on Joe Lenardi's, or in their own region together in Jerry Palm's. I have been picking Baylor to advance there, and really there hasn't been much that has changed because, neither team has played since Saturday. So I am going to go with Baylor here. I don't feel too confident with it right now. We'll see what actually happens on Selection Sunday with how these two teams are bracketed. But I am going to go with Baylor just to be consistent in that regard. So there we have it. Those are my predictions for the NCAA tournament based off of today's bracketology. Let me know what you guys think of my bracketology predictions in the comment section below. Let me know your own predictions in the comments as well. Don't forget to bet with BetUS. Go to Discord, join that server, all that fun stuff. Enter the giveaway. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.